Hey friends, it's time again for Once More with Feelings. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth, and we are an emotional journey podcast. We watch the movies, we talk about the movies, and we talk about how we feel, how we connect those things to the world around us.
And this week, we are going to do, in honor of the recent revelation that they're finally doing a sequel after God knows how many years, we are doing Spaceballs, a Mel Brooks classic, 1987.
Yeah, it's a space opera parody film.
Yes.
Co-written and produced and directed by Mel Brooks. It primarily parodies the original Star Wars trilogy, but also other popular franchises, such as Star Trek, Alien, The Wizard of Oz, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Planet of the Apes, and Transformers. The film stars Bill Pullman, John Candy, Rick Moranis, and Daphne
Zuniga.
Do that wrong every single time. With the supporting cast including Dick Van Patten, Rick Moranis, George Weiner,
Yeah, I think so.
Lorraine Yarnell.
Yeah, you went further than I did because I don't think I've got that name on here on my list.
Yeah, and the voice of Joan Rivers.
Yes, also
as Dot Matrix.
Also, Dom DeLuise as Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. In addition to Brooks playing a dual role, the film features Brooks regulars Dom DeLuise and Randy DeLuca in cameo appearances.
Yes.
Yeah, Dom DeLuise was Pizza the Hut, who is the Jabba the Hutt analogy or algorithm.
Yeah, an algorithm?
Algorithm? Allegory.
Allegory. Is it Randy or Rudy?
Did I say Randy?
Yeah.
It's Rudy.
Okay, because that's what I wrote down, but that doesn't mean I wrote the right thing down. That's what I wanted to double check. Rudy DeLuca's character.
You successfully called me out. I am properly shamed.
I know. I'm just making sure I wrote down the right thing because I had written it down.
No.
So Rudy played Vinny, who is
Vinny Vinovici.
Yeah, and he is Pizza's side guy, but to me, he reminded me of the Spine from Steam Powered Giraffe. I wonder if Spine was...
yeah, because when he came up, I'm like, that...
I wonder if David was inspired by that.
The Spine could have played this.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't now.
Yeah, he
couldn't
a
then.
baby.
He was
if he
like
was even a thought.
I think he was a zygote then.
I mean, who knows? 87? I don't think he was a thought. But yeah, I'd have to look that up to see if that's what he was inspired by with his costumage for the Spine. But David Bennett, totally. That's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen this movie in forever.
Yeah,
and
right.
That's the Spine.
And it freaked me out because it wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of weeks ago. We saw Steam Powered Giraffe. I rarely see them anymore because we just aren't in those circles. But he came up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, as singing
the
Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty good. I mean,
done as the Spine.
I enjoy their music.
I do too.
The problem is, I just can't. There's
too much lore in their story. Like so if you don't know Steam Powered Giraffe started out as a bunch of buskers. It's the Bennett siblings. They had started doing this, I think, in San Diego, and they slowly had a bigger and bigger following, and their music it tells stories, and they do steam punk kind of costumage. Like they're all animatronic robots, and they're great. Musically, they are fantastic. I love the idea of them. But their story and their lore has just gotten very deep. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of their fans are a little wackadoo. And I've been in the fandom.
They're a little bit toxic.
They
really.
are. I mean, I remember when a group of us were talking about, like, trying to get them on Ellen or something. And the diehards were like, they don't need that. They're good as they are. I'm like, okay, but the boys need money, And I mean,
musicians got a musish.
Yeah.
Dude,
so I mean, there's
chills out with your dills out.
And there's been a lot of pretty amazing musicians who have been part of that, who have been a part of Steampunk Giraffe and Steam Powered Giraffe. I'm sorry, and they've come and they've gone. And that's another part is
they're not gone.
Not gone, but they're no longer with the bands. Like the John is gone, and I liked the John.
Yeah.
I liked Sam, but he's not really doing it anymore. And I can't remember the other dude's name. Mike, that's it.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike was the only one who wasn't in costume, but I think he comes and goes.
I liked the idea that he wasn't in costume. It gave you like, it was kind of the Alvin and the Chipmunks. So you had the Chipmunks,
and then you had Dave.
You had Dave. Who was like the grounding of it. You know, it's like there's your reality right there, and then you have the fantasy right around it.
So yeah, Steam Powered Giraffe was one of my favorites for a while.
We should, we'll link them in the notes if we can find their links.
Oh yeah, no, they're everywhere. Yeah, so their website's
we'll link it. We'll link their applicable links there, whether it's YouTube or whatever.
There's fantastic, their first 2 albums to me are like the best, really.
Honeybee is my favorite song.
Yeah, I believe that's on the second album too. Juju Magic.
Rabbit's leading that one, right?
Yes, yeah. Rabbit. And there's a lot of great music on that.
So, what did you do this week, Michelle?
Oh.
What did you do to us?
I burdened us with another mouth to feed.
Oh my
that
God.
Sounded like...
Okay, so here's the issue. I love animals. I do. But I have a very strict guideline I go by, which is always make sure you take on what you can take care of. I firmly, it's one of the few things I'm very like strict with myself about, is to be a good steward to the animals that you have, to be a good caretaker, and to love them properly. You must only take on what you can deal with and what you can feed and you have the money for, and how you can care for them. Now, granted, things happen in life. And this is a thing that happened in life.
It did.
So go ahead and tell the audience, tell the people at home what you did to us.
So we have 2 dogs and 2 cats and 12 chickens and 3 turkeys. And I was going...
The turkeys were my idea, so...
Yeah, we would have had up to 6, but we had some casualties because baby turkeys are very difficult to keep alive, apparently.
Who knew? They're very fragile and they
More
just don't...
so than chickens.
Yeah, they don't have good health when they're little.
Yes, I had no idea. So we have...
Cried
3.
every time.
And we were buying them in 2, so it wasn't like we were trying to have 6 turkeys.
Right.
So I was going up to the barn and doing my morning chicken/turkey run, and I hear meowing in the little field beside the barn.
Which we'd heard meowing
a couple days before
and couldn't figure out what it was.
I thought it was coming from the neighbor's yard, so I was like, well, that's their problem, not my problem.
We have birds that sound like that
we
too,
do.
though.
We do. So I hear this meowing sound. It's a high-pitched. It's very, very loud. And I go into the field, and there's a baby kitten. A little black baby kitten. And I scooped it up, and I tried to find its mom, because its mom was nearby. And I tried to give it back. But Mom did not take the baby, and I gave her almost a window of like 4 hours of me panicking back and forth of what to do.
But when you found the kitten, what did you do?
I picked it up and I brought it into...
No, but what did you do?
I called you.
You called me and you said, I did a thing.
I did a thing. Because I felt so bad, but I panicked and I picked the baby up. And we have boy cats, so immediately I just went stupid and assumed it was a boy cat. But our little booger hadn't pooped in 2 days, so I had to take it to the vet, and we named it Poe.
I think you already spilled the beans.
Yeah, I did spill the beans.
It was going to be Edgar
Allan Poe, because it's a little black cat. It's got a little white patch on its chest, and but Poe is more of an Edwina.
Yeah, Edwina Poe.
So we are still sticking with
Edwina
Poe.
Louise Poe?
Maybe, yes. Edgar Elena Poe. Edgar Alice Poe. Edwina Alice.
Alice? Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Little looking glass thing there.
Yeah, there we go. So, she's beside me in this little box. She's asleep right now. She's only like maybe 3 weeks old, if she's even 3 weeks old. And we took her to the vet. They said she's healthy as can be, and
she's cute as a button.
Oh, well, I'll post pictures because she is...
and I love her.
I do.
Now it's
it's happening, you know.
I mean, it was going to happen. The minute you picked her up, it was happening.
I mean, we did say we wanted a black cat. I mean, we have a tuxedo cat, we have a long-haired gray cat, and now we've got a black cat with a tiny little white patch.
She's a tabby, a black tabby.
I think she is.
Which is adorable.
That's what the nurses were like. They were enamored by her little stripes at the vet.
Yeah, she's cute as
and she hissed. Oh my God! One nurse picked her up and she was like not having it, and all she did was hold her. But she doesn't usually hiss at us.
But you and our daughter are taking care of her pretty much around the clock because our daughter comes home from work, where she's a road worker. She actually shovels the asphalt.
No, this bougie bitch is a secretary for a car dealership, for an expensive car dealership.
Okay, I really like the idea that she's out there shoveling asphalt.
Honey, you know this child ain't out there shoveling asphalt. You know, she couldn't wear her nails.
Anyway, she gets home and she trades off with you.
Yep.
Because I'm at work and then I get home and we're doing other things. But she takes over and she has been nursing. Yep. And the baby went to get her checked out.
Yep.
And she's doing well, right?
She's doing fantastic. She got her first dose of dewormer, and because she is an outside kitten, but she's she's inside now, but she's out. She's isolated. She will never see outside again unless she's with us.
I mean, she's isolated from the other animals.
She is isolated from the other animals until she's older, and we're 100% sure she's not a carrier. But she still I still carry her around the house.
Carry her.
But she's a little shit, and I love her. I never had a girl cat that I enjoyed. Well, that's not true. I love Miss Bree, but Miss Bree was a bit standoffish.
And we're breaking our code of cats named after cheese.
Yes, because we had Brie and Cheddar, and we have Blue and Camembert.
Right.
And now we've broken that because I couldn't come up with a black cheese. And I couldn't think of...
I really just like the idea of Poe. So
I like Poe,
I'm okay
too.
with that.
And I wanted her to have a black cat.
And we love...
witchy stuff, yeah.
We love Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a freaking spooky girl, so, I like my stuff. But I didn't want to give her the typical black cat name. Yeah. Though Jinx was up there in my choices. I had Jinx, I had Puck, and I had Poe. And what else? I think I had Mage, too.
Baby Cheese come barreling through the door. Are you talking about me?
He's my good boy. He's our monster studio cat. Because the Tuxedo and Cammy, he doesn't come in here very often.
Oh, he's not happy right now, though.
No, he's not happy. Neither of the boys are happy. But they're going to have a baby sister eventually who they're going to love.
Oh, and he got up on your lap.
Yeah, he's back. And hopefully...
You will hear some purring.
And you might hear some hissing because he's not happy about the baby. When he realizes that the baby's in the box next to me, he gets a bit...
So, let's talk about the Mel Brooks of it all.
Yes, because that is the big thing here.
So, he had a birthday.
He did.
Fairly recently. He is 99 years old.
Holy shit, I didn't realize he was 99. I knew he was up there, but I didn't know he was 99.
Yeah, the man is 99 years old. So I wanted to do a little bit of background, just so the youngsters, and maybe even the oldsters who just don't know, can know a little bit about Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm. Works for me.
So he was born Melvin James Kaminsky on June 28th, 1926.
Wow.
In Brooklyn, New York. Now, I know you would never know he was born in Brooklyn, New York, because...
that accent, I would never would have placed that.
Connecticut.
I never would have placed that as Brooklyn.
He was raised in a Jewish household. His father died when Mel was just 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a loss that deeply shaped his worldview and comedic sensibility. I'm reading this because I wrote all this out, and I was taking from a lot of sources. Mm-hmm. And I did verify them as much as I could, but they all say pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
He was small, often a sickly child. He used humor as armor, which, that's what a lot of children do when they're damaged, so good on him. It was a survival tool in a tough neighborhood. At age 14, he was already entertaining guests at Catskills Resort. And by 16, he was filling in as a stand-up comic. His military service, he served in World War II as a combat engineer in the U.S. Army, which is badass, by the way. Mm-hmm. It takes some badass... it takes a lot of getting over fear to be a combat engineer. I can tell you right now. He was defusing landmines during the Battle of the Bulge.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right? Even in wartime, he found ways to inject humor, once singing Al Jolson songs into a bullhorn to drown out Nazi propaganda.
And honestly, that just makes me happy. I mean, okay, first thing, he's Jewish. He's Jewish and he's fighting against the Nazis. So how fucking poetic is that? And then to just be...
darkly poetic.
Oh, it warms my evil heart.
So he started as a writer for Sid Caesar's Your Show of Shows in 1950s, alongside legends like Carl Reiner and Neil Simon.
Sid Caesar is the person that my grandmother always said, if she could dance with anybody famous, it would have been Sid Caesar. Who knew?
Yeah. Co-created the satirical spy series Get Smart, which I did not know.
I didn't know that.
I know, crazy, in the 1960s.
Hell, I loved Get Smart.
I loved that show too, and I still love it. And that explains the comedy in it. It's very distinctly something like a Mel Brooksian thing.
Yeah.
So Mel Brooks has like this vaudevillian sense of comedy, and it shows in everything he does. Everything is like he's waiting for applause.
Yeah.
So you really get that sense of his comedy. Get Smart always had that, and I never tied it to it.
I didn't even think of that.
Because we didn't have the interwebs back then.
No, we did not.
He broke into film with The Producers in 1967. We just talked about this last week.
Because we were thinking about doing Producers, but we weren't sure if you want to do old or new.
Still want to do the new one because I do. Nathan Lane. I want Nathan Lane.
I know. I love Nathan Lane.
A daring comedy that won him an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
There's so much wrong with that play, and I love it.
Followed by the iconic films like Blazing Saddles, one of my favorite Mel Brooks.
And I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole thing.
It is one of my favorite because it really just... It's Gene Wilder.
Oh, no,
Gene Wilder makes that movie because he's so unapologetically jaded about what he's doing, but in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. And he just makes everyone laugh. Inadvertently makes, even, during the serious parts, makes them laugh. It's pretty good. Young Frankenstein, 1974 as well. Spaceballs, of course. And Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
We are men.
He is known for pushing boundaries with satire, parody, and absurdity, often using his comedy to confront prejudice and historical trauma. And we mentioned this many times during this film about there's that racism there, and it's him pointing out the racism with this big Sharpie. He's just Xing it for you so you can see it.
Yeah, this is it. And he doesn't make any bones about it. It's unapologetic humor. Yes, it is offensive if you are looking at it from the wrong angle. If you're not looking at it from a Mel Brooks angle. If you're looking at it from an outside source, not understanding where he came from, who he is, and you're just seeing this comedy and you're seeing the racist jokes, you're going, oh my God! But you're not understanding that this is a man who has seen a lot of shit and he is pointing out the shit.
Yeah, he's seen the unimaginable, so yeah. He believed comedy would be a weapon against tyranny. He still believes that, by the way.
Definitely.
I'm saying past tense, but this is something he said in the past.
Yes.
If you can reduce Hitler to a joke, you rob him of his power. I think we have a proper analog to that here now.
Oh, yes.
His humor is often rooted in outsider identity, Jewish heritage, and a deep understanding of human absurdity. Mm-hmm. In his personal life, he married actress Anne Bancroft in 1964.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Their love story is legendary. That's just stated here simply.
Wow, and I had no idea that they were together.
Yeah. She was his muse, partner, and biggest supporter until her death in 2005.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So sad. They had one son, Max Brooks. He's like Mel Brooks, and then you have Maximum Brooks. Author of World War Z. I did not realize he wrote World War Z.
Holy shit.
Brooks never remarried, calling Anne the party and saying life without her was not easy. Aww. That is how I would be with you. I could not. I wouldn't need to move on. I've hit my pinnacle with you, you know? So I completely understand that. His legacy was that he was one of the few entertainers to achieve EGOT status.
Mm-hmm.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Yep. For the producers?
Yeah. Honored with the National Medal of Arts, Kennedy Center Honors, and Hollywood Walk of Fame star. At 99, he's still creatively active, producing, writing, and even reprising roles like Yogurt in the upcoming Spaceballs sequel, which is why we're doing this today. We couldn't time it out exactly how we wanted to, but we got it in as soon as we could so that we can talk about Spaceballs now.
Yes. So, really, before we start talking about our feelings about it, there are some points that I do want to make. He didn't want to play Yogurt. He wanted Gene Wilder. But him and Gene Wilder had stopped working together, and he had hoped that one day he would get to work with him again. But unfortunately, Gene did pass away.
Right.
But he wanted him to play Yogurt. He had a hard time playing Yogurt. It hurt his knees. He broke out in a rash from the makeup. But he'll tell you that it was probably one of his favorite things he's ever done. Even as hard as it was so worth it. Right. And that's the type of person that he is when it comes to his craft. He asked permission from George Lucas before he started doing this. And he said, hey, can I parody Star Wars?
Right.
And George Lucas is notorious for being, an ass when it comes to Star Wars and everything Star Wars related. And is very litigious about it. And at me, bro. I'm stating facts, not, making them up. And so he asked him, and he said, sure, you can use it. Just do not merchandise anything pertaining to this. Do not sell anything pertaining to this because it would compete with Star Wars. So when you meet Yogurt, and Yogurt and his dinks talk about merchandise, it's in all of the Spaceballs, the mug, Spaceballs, the shaving cream, the sheets, the whatever.
The back scratcher.
None of it exists in real life. Now, it might exist now that we are in the higher age of internet consumables and where there's a lot of people who make things quote unquote off license, but they still manage to sell them, like all those little Harry Potter things that are not related to his licensed stuff. Yeah, so that are not they're not Harry Potter licensed, they're not Warner Brothers, but yet they're still using the same little characters and just enough of a difference where they're not going to get sued for it. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're going to see those things, probably like the 1001 Dunder Mifflin t-shirts that you see on Amazon. Not one of them is owned by the Office people. I think you're going to find a Spaceballs t-shirt. I didn't look and I meant to. But it's not Mel Brooks who did it. So he can't get sued by it. But at the time, you would never have found any of that in any store. Right. And I just thought those were points that kind of needed to be pointed out.
Yeah, he really hit on the absurdity of that.
Oh, yeah.
That was his thing.
And you were mentioning about the off-color jokes. And, with the pick, when they're told to comb the desert. Right. And you got the combs, and you got the two white guys with the one comb. Have you found anything? No, sir, we haven't. What about you guys? No, sir, not us. What about you guys? And it's the two black guys with a pick. And they're like, we ain't seen shit. And, hey, yeah, fucking funny, but also so goddamn racist.
But it's putting that big circle around this whole thing, saying this is the absurdity of it.
Oh, yeah, because, again, I've not seen Blazing Saddles, but I know enough about Blazing Saddles that there's a lot of that in...
It makes you uncomfortable, but it's
supposed to make you uncomfortable.
It should make you uncomfortable. It's pointing out the things. That's why I get squirmy during these things, because it makes me uncomfortable.
And you should. Yeah.
Right. It's accomplishing its task.
Oh, yeah. And, I what did I do? Every single time something would happen, I was like, that's racist. That's racist. That's racist. Yeah.
That's what I was doing, too. I was just like, oop, oop.
Like when he talks about her being a Druish princess.
Right.
And I literally had the conversation with you. I'm like, can I play Jewish Princess by Frank Zappa? But no one would really get my reference unless they've actually watched the movie and caught
the
Lone
Druish
Star
princess
saying,
thing,
"Oh,
yeah.
she's a Druish princess," and then what was it? It was wasn't it Dark Helmet who says Druish princesses are known for their love of money and power?
Right.
I mean, how that is a lot. That's a fucking lot, and that's a smack in the face of. But this is coming from a man who is Jewish. Who knows the audacity and the ludicrousness of those jokes.
Let's talk real quick about I'm not going to rename the cast.
No.
I just want to point out the analogs. So Lone Star is the analog of Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Yes, so yeah.
Barf or Bartholomew is the analog for Chewbacca.
Yes.
Princess Vespa is obviously Princess Leia. Dark Helmet, Darth Vader. And then we have President Scroob.
Which is an anagram of Brooks.
Right. Is the Emperor Palpatine thing. And then Yogurt is Yoda.
Yeah.
Dot Matrix is C-3PO. There is no R2-D2 in this.
No, I think she's a little of both.
Not really.
No, not really.
But then, we have, King Roland, which is kind of Leia's father. It'd be the stand-in for that, And then Pizza the Hutt is Jabba the Hutt. Prince Valium is like the Prince Charming. They didn't really have an analog for that, but
He's just Jim J. Bullock, and Jim J. needed a job at the moment. He was kind of popular, but not really.
But I always felt he was kind of underutilized in a lot of things he did at that time.
I do too. He was on the one with Ted Knight, right? Wasn't he? Not Ted Knight. Yeah, the guy who was on the Mary Tyler Moore show. Yeah. Ted Knight. Okay. But he was it was the show where he was the neighbor.
He was the lead, right? Wasn't he the... No,
he was the neighbor. His name was Monroe, and that's because that's my grandmother's middle name. Yeah. So that's why I always remember that. Monroe. Yeah.
And I always picture that as like the first time I saw a
gay guy on TV.
Gay man on television.
And yet he wasn't, but he was, yeah. Because I don't think they actually acknowledged it, but they acknowledged it to a certain degree.
Yeah, so John Ritter played in Three's Company, in the TV show Three's Company, he played a man living with two girls, and he pretended to be gay.
Yes, so that he could
first
to live there.
I think for the first 2 or 3 seasons,
and even then, really not
for the comedy of it, but really
for the Ropers.
Yeah, supposedly he could get around the Ropers who would.
The Mr. Furley came in, and even then he played it a little bit for Mr. Furley, but Mr. Furley was a little himself.
Yeah, but this was about, trying to get, around the whole idea of a man living with 2 women.
Yes.
And I guess...
With Monroe.
So Jim had played Monroe, and he was his mannerisms always pointed to me was like, oh, this is a gay man being on TV.
I always thought he was a gay man. I really always thought the character was gay.
And I could be wrong. I should look that up later, but this isn't a TV show.
No.
Podcast,
and again, and Daphne Zuniga, I knew her from TV as well. And I want to say, what was it? Melrose Place. Wasn't she on Melrose Place?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I thought that's where she was.
Holy shit. That opens up a whole
I think that's where I knew her from.
Yes, it is. She was in Melrose Place.
And everybody is going to be back for
was that first season?
Gosh, I don't even remember.
Oh, man,
I didn't really watch Melrose
Place in forever.
See, I didn't really watch Melrose Place, but
that was the one show.
It came on after 90210. I do know that.
But that's the one show. Well, okay, so 2 shows. That was the 2 shows where it really showed I was not the boy my father wanted. It's when I saw. I would watch 90210.
Luke Perry,
and then I would watch Melrose Place after. Mm-hmm. And I would talk about it. And my dad's like, you're watching those shows? I'm like, yeah.
I'm no judge because, I was 12 years old watching Moonlighting and fawning over David Addison, Bruce Willis, you know, and that was my thing. And I was 12. I was 12.
He's saying.
But I was 12. What the hell's wrong with me? I'm fawning over men who are 15, 20, 30 years older than me.
Yeah, but he was funny.
He was funny.
That's the whole point of it.
And at 12, I knew what I liked.
Guess what? You loved Hawkeye for that, too.
I did love Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye was one of my favorite was one of my first loves. Actually, you know who
Talking about Hawkeye from MASH, not from MCU.
Yes, no, from MASH. Actually, I want to admit my first fandom crush, and this should have just totally explained who I am as a human being. Egon.
Well, yeah.
Egon was my first crush. I
get that.
Nerdy dork boy. And yeah, I always loved Egon. But, so how did you feel the first time you saw this movie?
I can't believe you're asking me that on this podcast.
I know. How dare I?
This is the emotionally unavailable podcast.
This is not Once More with Feelings.
That didn't help at all. So, I saw Spaceballs in theaters.
Me too. I actually saw this one in the theater.
Yeah, saw it in theaters when it came out because it was in, like a small town. And I had access to a car because I had, I was working. I was a, sophomore, junior.
Mm-hmm.
I was a junior in high school. And I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money as a kid because I worked my ass off after school. I worked for 12 hours in a factory. I had no real bills to speak of because rent was super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was paying all of $200 for rent. And my roommate, my best friend at the time, was paying half of that because he lived there too. So I was making boatloads of cash for a kid in 1987. And so I was flush.
Yeah.
And so I was doing all the things, but I went to go see Spaceballs. And it was the funniest thing I had ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to dredge up emotional things for this because it is camp and there's nothing cringe about it. I don't feel cringe at any moment in this movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel it back then either. I feel uncomfortable about the points of racism, the different things of anti-Semitism, that are being pointed out glaringly so that you can see it. What it did do, though, is it informed me because I wasn't, even though I knew the history of the Nazi regime and I knew about the death camps and everything else, not to be a downer here, but pointing out those things in the comedy almost made it more real.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, even as a kid, that the Druish princess thing, while it's a funny thing to say, was uncomfortable in a way that made me think about what they've been through.
Yes.
What the Jewish people went through during that time. And it's kind of like that whole thing of she gets kidnapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she gets taken away from her home. And for me, that was like the analog for like fleeing from their country, being disinherited from their country because they were marked no longer citizens, that kind of thing. And it did kind of have that, that whole thing. It kind of went in line, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I see what he's doing. But it was more cerebral at the time.
Yeah.
And I think now I feel it more because we're in those times.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that's going to keep being a real thing. And I had known his stuff from Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
And, of course, I love History of the World, Part 1 and Part 2. But I loved Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
That was my favorite movie. And one of the things I love in this, and I only ever caught it this time, I did not catch it any other time, is they mention Mongo twice in this film.
Yes.
Mongo is a character in Blazing Saddles. And Mongo Only Pawn in Game of Life is one of the... It's a line that's stuck in my memory forever. And one time when Big Helmet is playing...
Dark Helmet.
Dark helmet. Big helmet.
Big helmet.
Dark helmet with his big helmet is playing with his toys. Mm-hmm. He does do the Mongo only pawning game of life.
I didn't catch that.
It's in the extended one that was cut down.
Oh, okay.
But he does do it in that. And then later on in the news reel, where it's showing the newscaster and stuff.
Yeah. And he tells them, with the weather.
Says,
Mongo, weather.
Going to Mongo. I was like, that's, I've never noticed that, the news thing at all in this. And I was like, that's crazy. I've never caught that once.
No, I didn't either. So I wasn't.
I didn't actually tell you my feelings on it, but that's fine.
No, go ahead, tell your feelings. No, I thought you did. Sorry, you did. No, a lot of things.
I talked about a lot of things because I just want to mention I did not dredge up a lot of feelings for this when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Because it was a comedy and because everything in it was a parody of something.
Yes.
And I didn't fully understand the context of it. It was more cerebral. That is what I got out of it.
Yeah.
It was humorous. I thought it was funny as hell because obviously this is geared more towards the younger audience at the time.
Yes. I think yes and no because I didn't catch a lot of the shit when I was younger. And even like watching it.
Not children. No. Younger, like the 30, 20 or 30-year-olds. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to put her on my arm.
That's fine.
She was getting cold, and now she's making little noises
with adorable little ears sticking out.
Yeah, she's making little noises. So if you hear her, that's she's making little snapping noises, but she's not hungry yet. I don't think. When I saw it, I was in 8th grade. So yeah, 87. I was in 8th grade because I didn't go into my freshman year until 88, and I remember going to see it in the theater. I don't remember who I was with. I might have been with friends. I might have been with my parents. I don't remember, honestly. I just know I saw it in the theater. It's about all I remember. And because I remember the scene with the big ship in the beginning, and I was like, what the fuck, it won't end. I didn't get the joke at first. I was like, oh God, it's going. Because again, I was really not the same person I am now. And I didn't understand nuance the way I understand what they were doing, the jokes and stuff. And so the ship's going and the ship is going and the ship is going and the ship is going. And oh my God, why is the ship still going through the scene? Why is it still happening? I don't understand. So I just remember that. And it was happening, on this giant screen in front of me. Looking back at some of the jokes, I definitely did not get, but also were not really meant for 13-year-olds.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think my parents understood that, though they should have because Mel Brooks. They should have known that it was, being a Mel Brooks movie.
Well, this is 1987 is the post-Crown Royal era. Mm-hmm. So it was an odd time for everyone.
So how did I feel about it? Again, as a kid, I just thought it was a silly old movie and I liked the jokes. And I knew who John Candy was because, again, I had been a fan for a long time and, Splash. But I didn't really think too much about it. Now, I have opinions on Bill Pullman. Not the opinions most people are going to think. I love Bill Pullman. I think he is awesome.
Beautiful man.
Beautiful man. He has played one character that I have hated.
Oh, yeah.
I hated him not because he was a bad guy, because he was. But he was an ineffectual bad guy. He was a bad guy in the sense that he was there, I think, because they wanted to have Bill Pullman in the show. But he was not a good bad guy.
Yeah, one of the worst characters I've ever seen on TV.
And he just that's nothing against him. Nothing against him at all.
No, it has everything to do with the blasé edition of this bad guy.
And in their defense, that season was not written by the showrunners that originally. We're not going to discuss it, but.
Are you afraid of getting sued?
I am not afraid of getting sued. Not by any of those jerkwads. Oswald Danes. Worst character he has ever played in his life. Oswald Danes was on Torchwood season 4 this season. We do not discuss.
Not his fault.
Nope, because it's already been, it's a season, like I said, it's the season we don't discuss. Because it is the post-Yonto Jones death, and I don't acknowledge that actually happened.
I completely get that.
Children of Earth.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. That is his worst character in the history of his acting career.
Yes, and that's saying a lot. He was just a useless bad guy. He wasn't even like a good bad guy.
She's getting ready to feed the kitten, and she is staring at the syringe in hunger. She's ready for it. And
she's like, that's my nippy.
I know, she's ready. So, yeah, what did I want to talk about? There were a couple of things. Let me look at my notes here. Oh, the music anachronisms in this film are... I didn't realize it then. It didn't,
I kept catching it.
Well, it didn't strike me back then when I saw it.
Yeah.
But now... Sorry, y'all are going to hear a kitten. Because she fights
and she needs to eat
until she starts eating. So now I can hear it and it stands out.
Yeah.
So there are a few of them. We have Bon Jovi, the song Raise Your Hands, the Pointer Sisters, Hot Together, and Berlin, Heartstrings, and Van Halen, Good Enough.
Mm-hmm.
All of those were in the film at really weird times.
They really were. Wasn't it? It was Van Halen in the beginning, right, with Barf dancing?
No, that was Raise Your Hands.
That was Raise Your Hands.
That was
okay.
Bon Jovi. That's when
God, that was Bon Jovi?
That's when I noticed. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? It is so... It's so startling. It actually, like... It doesn't take you out of the film because you're not in the film. You know, you're just watching the film because it's almost like you're watching a vaudevillian act. Oh, wow.
Same amount every time, though. She
was hungry.
Yeah, she only does 15 milligrams every time.
I keep misgendering her because
we've been calling her he.
We've been calling her he for the last 2 days.
We didn't know.
But and I'm trying to be better so that she doesn't get a self-esteem issue.
Unfortunately, I have to do a pottying too, but you know.
That's okay. So the music anachronisms really threw me off. Now most of it is just Spaceballs.
Yeah.
The ship is called Spaceballs. The songs are just saying Spaceballs a lot.
But sometimes also they sound like other songs.
Right. And
yeah.
You know, I think it just like it throws you out of the movie. But back then, because those were all fairly new songs.
Yeah.
At that time, it really kind of like I think it's one of the first times I really heard music that was new, that was just put into the thing without being like the title.
Oh,
song.
okay, yeah.
You know, it was just like in the movie, you know, like blatantly sitting in the movie.
Yeah.
Not as part of the background, but as part of the scene, you know?
Yeah.
It was weird.
She doesn't like to go potty.
She is not happy about potty. Another thing, too, is like along with his vaudevillian things, he goes a really long way for jokes. So long that you're like walking down this corridor going, wait, are we still in the movie?
Yeah.
And then you realize the joke is just hit. But it took so long to get there. So like the assholes.
Oh, God, the assholes.
You know, being surrounded by assholes. That's such a long lead up. And I'm like, that's the thing about the vaudevillian thing is there was room for applause.
Yes. So, if you don't know, he says, shoot her across, just warning shots across the nose of the ship. And it's Princess Vespa's little Mercedes ship. And the guy does. And then he goes, I said, across her nose, not up it. And then he's like, sorry, sir, I'm doing my best. And the guy's got crossed eyes. And he goes, who put this asshole on whatever the position was? And so this commander, he turns around. He also has crossed eyes. And he goes, I did, sir. And he goes, what's with this asshole? And he's like, well, it's, he's my cousin. He's, and he's an asshole.
It's an asshole or something like that.
And he's like, am I surrounded by assholes? And then everybody raises their hand. No. He's like, is everybody here an asshole? And everybody raises their hand. He goes, I'm surrounded by assholes. So yes, it was a long way to get there. But if you don't know that, you're going to be, not.
Yeah, but a lot of the jokes are like that in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike a lot of the comedies he's done before, this one like really goes a long way to get to the joke. And again, it's like a vaudevillian act. You know, he's like they're doing the act, and then you wait for the applause. And I thought that was, for me, it was weird timing, but it also worked for this movie because it kind of was satirizing that. Wow,
Good
she was hungry.
Girl.
She just drank the entire syringe of milk.
Yeah, she doesn't normally drink the full syringe.
So yeah, and then we had Michael Winslow.
Yes.
In the movie, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's the radar control guy.
Right, and if you don't know him, he was in Police Academy.
He makes sound effects, very, very believable sound effects with his mouth.
Yeah, he does sound effects, and he shows up several times. He's also homaged in Psych.
Yep.
During the shootout scenes in the supermarket, where they keep trying to make sound effects with their mouths to sound like guns and
it's
stuff.
Not working.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was in it, and that was good to see. I forgot about him being in it.
Phil Hartman was the voice of one of the Dinks, but he's not credited, which freaks me out a little, but yeah. There's so many... John Hurt was in this. John Hurt played himself, quote unquote, because he wasn't, but basically he was playing Bishop. If you know Bishop from Alien, you know what happens to poor Bishop, and well, it happened again, because when the chest burster comes out of his chest, he goes, "Oh no, not again." And then it proceeds to sing, "Hello, my baby, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime gal," much like Michigan J. Frog.
So we're talking about a lot of pieces to this, but you have to really get a grasp of it.
And it has one of my favorite actors who other than Ghostbusters, we have not really delved into in a movie. We have to do My Blue Heaven at some point. But Rick Moranis, I love him. I adore him. I think he is so underappreciated as a human being in general. Yeah. I mean, if you know anything about him... When his wife passed away, he quit acting to raise his children. And then when he was thinking about coming back, he got mugged.
Yeah.
Who the fuck mugs Rick Moranis? Because...
I don't know.
Yeah. No, fuck you. Fuck you.
So...
And then John Candy.
Did you know that My Blue Heaven is my favorite mob film?
It's my favorite mob film as well. Because I'm not a mob film fan. But I have... personal reasons for that.
I do too. I don't like them. It's very personal.
I just grew up with those movies being shoved down my throat growing up in New Jersey with all the little the freaking
Did you grow up in New Jersey?
With the little wannabe Goombas in the fucking in my even my family, who all think that just because you carry an Italian last name, you must carry on the tradition of loving gangster movies, and no. No.
So we've talked about parts of this film, pieces of the film, but let's talk about some of the emotions or the feelings within it.
Yes.
So we have Lone Star, who is the Han Solo, Luke Skywalker
combo
analog. Yeah. He's a rogue mercenary, and he's got this medallion that he's always got, and this is a very tropey thing, but it's on there for a reason. He's discovering his royal lineage, which mirrors the classic hero's journey.
Yep.
It's a very short journey. It's not a long arc. It's a short one. And
when he's introduced, you think he's hungover because he's trying to get Barf's attention, and he's going, "Barf, barf." He's like he's going to throw up and literally say the word barf as he's doing it, but he's just trying to get Barf's attention.
But he's reluctant to accept responsibility. He owes money
to the sharks.
They fly a Winnebago. It's a Winnebago they fly.
It's the when I can't say it. It's not the Millennium Falcon. It is the
Winnium Falcon.
Yeah, the Winnium. I couldn't say it. It's too much of a tongue twister. Winnium Falcon.
No, it's not that, but
yes,
it does have a sign.
It does have a falcon on it, but
it's Eagle 3 actually,
probably
something like that. I saw the side, and I'm
it's Ecto 5.
But I always called it the Millennium Falcon when I was a kid because I thought that was funnier.
It is funny.
And then we have, we have Princess Vespa's arc, which is like this. She has royal obligations. She obviously doesn't want to marry out of responsibility for her father. She wants to marry out of love and to have some autonomy. That's a theme I think anybody can get in line with. And her chemistry with Lone Star is the same.
Yeah.
It's reflected in the Princess Leia Han Solo, in which they're initially...
I hate you. Yeah. I'm indifferent towards you. Oh, and I love you.
Here are 10 things I hate about you.
And then, yeah.
By the way, another film we need to do.
Oh, yeah. So my question. Everybody's name in this movie, within reason, their name is a reason. There's a name. Like, that's not what I'm saying. There's a reason for the name. Lone Star, he's like, I'm the lone. Lone wolf.
But he's with his friend who's half dog.
And then Barf is literally, he's a Mog. Half man.
Dog, half man.
Yeah, half man, half dog. And then we have, Dot Matrix, which makes sense because she's a robot in, Dot Matrix.
During that time, that was the fanciest printer you could get.
Yeah. And that is Joan Rivers' voice. And then we have, Dark Helmet, which makes sense. We have Colonel Sanders, because that's just a play on the whole Colonel Sanders thing. Even President Scroob is Brooks' anagram.
Right.
Vespa. I don't get... Prince Valium, he falls asleep, literally yawns mid-sentence all the time. That's his shtick. That's his thing.
Vespa, she's a scooter. She's always on the go.
That's... fuck you.
If you don't want me to give you an idea of it, I won't.
I mean, King Roland is also kind of, but if you want to get really existential, he's, Child Roland to the Dark Tower came. But I doubt it.
Kind of. So we have Barf and Lone Star. They're obviously the duo that kind of like Chewbacca and Han Solo, except in this case they're more like, I don't know, they went to college together.
They're more like what's his face? The two characters in Bosom Buddies.
Well, they're like frat brothers.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that Barf kind of thinks that they're frat brothers more so than...
Right, yeah. Right. But they have like a goofy but sincere relationship in this film. That's the best I can come up with. It's goofy but sincere. And, they banter and everything. And I say there's not mutual support. There's Barf supporting Lone Star. Mm-hmm. Because that is how it... Okay.
Now we got all the cats in here.
And now Baby Cheese is upset because you've got Kitten in your hands.
I know. And
he's wanting love, so he's over here bothering me.
I know.
He's going to meow at me. He's like, I will ruin your podcast.
With my meows.
I do not care. We don't get paid.
Well, I'll lay the baby down in a minute. I want to make sure she was warm enough.
You're fine. And then we have Yogurt, who is the Yoda in this film. And... The Schwartz is in you is...
The Force, yeah.
It's a funny thing, but it's also kind of like... it's got a genuine message behind it. He says it very empathetically. Yes. He's saying it to Lone Star in the way that, even though it is a joke, he's also saying... This is your inner strength is already there.
Yeah, because he tells him later on that, he got the ring in a box of Cracker Jacks. So it wasn't like,
I mean, it's a wink at Star Wars. Yeah. Obviously, it's a lot of winks. It's a lot of blinking at Star Wars.
And it's hard for us to do. There's no deep dive we can pull on these characters like we can for most of our movies that we do. I mean, you can sit there and go into the whole, Lone Star being... he doesn't know he's a prince, but he's, a rogue, da-da-da-da-da. And you can say, that Vespa is a spoiled princess who grows up in this movie, during this time of this movie, seeing that her people are in danger of losing their heir and how she's fighting to keep them alive. And then she meets this man and he helps her and da-da-da-da. And there's a growth on her. But it's a comedy, and it's a shallow comedy in that sense when it comes to their characters.
Again,
it's not about the characters. It's about the mess. It's about the whole parody of itself, I think.
Again, it's like a vaudevillian act. you're not meant to get to know the characters.
Oh, yeah. They're there and they're gone.
You're meant to watch the thing unfold and to laugh at the appropriate moments.
Yeah.
Which is why it's harder for me now to really get into it. Not that it's bad. It's just I keep looking for deeper characters.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just not there. And there's a reason for it, because it's the difference between watching a movie that's made from a play and a play that is filmed and put as a movie.
And you can't say that, well, Mel Brooks doesn't know how to write characters that deep. But no, when we do the producers, we are going to have...
And Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Extremely deep characters, even though it's satire, even though it's, we have a lot of those things, but this movie is very specific in a tone that is separate from every other movie he's done.
It's very fast-paced, so everything is happening at you at a rate that you don't really get the time that you would need for any type of character development. You're not going to get any backstory on Barf. You're not going to know why Dot Matrix is, why was she totally given to Vespa other than to be a virginity alarm? What...
You barely understand Lone Star's...
where he came from, why.
Well, his inner thoughts about...
What is his motivation?
about his life.
Yeah.
He wears that medallion, but he only mentions it when it's needed the 2 times.
Yeah. When he's talking to her, to Vespa, about, that he was, he's... Sorry, cat's behind me now. That, when he was raised by an orphanage, he mentions that to her, and then he brings out the medallion again to have Yogurt read it, because he thought, well, he's a wise man and he can read it, and I saw the percent symbol on there, so I read that at least. That's about as far as I could read it.
But Princess Vespa is obviously not happy with her lot, and she's not happy. I think she is the deepest character you can find.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can recognize and empathize with the lack of autonomy.
Yeah, she doesn't want to marry Valium, and honestly, I wouldn't blame her. He literally is a snooze. Literally!
It's in the name.
Fuck.
But, that is as deep as it gets, as I think her character. And nothing else really gets any deeper. No. So, pulling up emotions for this movie is extremely difficult.
Oh, definitely.
But I think it's worth doing this because I think we just needed to get Spaceballs out of our system.
Well, and then with the upcoming, when the movie comes out and the new one comes out, I'm looking forward to it. All the cast is coming back, obviously, not John Candy and, not... Joan Rivers, and not Dom DeLuise, though his character did die at the end. Sorry, spoiler, Pete's is dead. He ate himself. And, it's going to be... Phil Hartman's gone, even though we didn't really know he was in the movie. John Hurt is gone. A lot of... Dick Van Patten, he's gone. So, a lot of these actors are no longer with us.
Although, Daphne actually reprised her role in the animated series. And so did Joan Rivers.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't even know there's an animated little thingy anyway.
Yeah, several of them actually came back. Actually, I think one of the few ones who did not come back were Bill Pullman and John Candy.
Okay.
For obvious reasons for John Candy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the animated Spaceballs, they reprised their roles as the voices.
That's funny.
Yeah. I think even... Maybe Dick Van Patten even.
I didn't know there was an anime. I'm going to have to find it now.
Oh, yeah, there is. And so, since you mentioned it, Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Is that what they're really calling it?
No, but I don't know. It's a working title. It's just Spaceballs 2. Because
that's what he says. It's what Joker says when we all come back together. Yeah,
I know. That's why I said it.
I know. I'm telling the audience that. If they have not seen it.
Yeah, but I was saying it because that is what he says in this movie. But it's only titled right now Spaceballs 2.
Yes.
It's a working title. It's probably going to evolve. I kind of doubt it. Probably just be Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
And I think The Search for More Money needs to be in there.
Oh, it has to be in there because, I mean, we are a capitalist nightmare right now.
So it is scheduled to be released. And keep in mind that this can change due to editing stuff, you know, strikes, anything.
And Bill Pullman's son is going to be in it as well.
Right. Is in 2027. So it's only a couple of years away.
Only a couple of years. I am ready for it.
The director is Josh Greenbaum. I don't know why I messed up that name.
Josh Greenbaum. Okay. I don't know who that is, but I feel like I should.
Well, let me tell you about Josh.
Okay.
His last name is Greenbaum.
Okay.
And his first name is Josh.
Fantastic.
And apparently he is a director.
I guess Mel doesn't want to direct this one, and I'm okay with that because he is 9 years old.
Oh no, I'm going to tell you more.
Oh,
I was just playing.
Okay. I was cool with that information.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you much about the director. I'm just going to tell you about more things.
Oh, okay.
The writers are going to be Josh Gad, Benji Sammet, and Dan Hernandez.
Josh Gad?
Yes.
Nice!
Yes.
Bear Claw.
Confirmed cast. I know, right? That's what I was thinking the whole time is Bear Claw. Josh has done so many things, and the only thing I'm going to remember really is that he is a sweet, lovable idiot.
He is.
Bear Claw. And he will always be that, mainly singing that forest song.
Well, the Bear Claw, and when he plays LeFou in the live action Beauty and the Beast, because he did a perfect.
Oh, yeah,
LeFou.
yeah. So, the returning cast is confirmed. Mel Brooks as Yogurt, obviously. Mm-hmm. Bill Pullman as Lone Star. Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet, which is one of his first returning major roles.
Yeah, well, other than Lewis.
Right. Daphne Zuniga as Princess Vespa. Mm-hmm. And you gotta be glad I said that right?
Yes.
Josh Gad in a role that is undisclosed, so he is actually going to be in it.
He's going to be Barf's son.
And believe me, I put in parentheses Bear Claw.
Bear Claw! No, he's going to be Barf's son. You know it.
Okay, you're going to have to help me out here. I don't know this person. I probably do, and I just don't know it.
Okay.
Kiki Palmer?
Kiki Palmer. She's a Disney kid.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, Nickelodeon. She's a Nickelodeon kid.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
so.
she's a Nickelodeon kid. She's awesome.
Right. And Lewis Pullman, who is going to play Lone Star's son.
Nice.
The sequel is described as a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel, part 2, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film.
Nice. I love it. I fucking love it.
Peak Spaceballs.
And it is totally Mel Brooks.
Yeah, in every way.
And I loved his little trailer for it. It was just, I was like, no, this isn't really happening. No, yes!
Exactly.
Because I love him. He's such a sweet little old man. I mean, he probably is a crotchety old man, but I don't have to live with him.
Actually, I don't think he's crotchety. I think he's...
All old men are crotchety old men to a certain degree.
I don't think he is. I think...
To a certain degree. No offense, but I've worked with a lot of you.
I think Mel Brooks is... I think he's tired.
Oh, definitely.
And I think he wants to get things done. Because he's trying to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once you're 99, man, your time is so limited.
Think about how, oh God, he must live every day right now in such disbelief and anger.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Of what the fuck did I fight for?
Yeah, why... all that I went through, and now we're here again.
What the fuck? To have to see this twice in your lifetime?
Yeah.
That, I can't imagine.
It just came back around,
the ulcers that he must live with.
So, with that, let's talk about the Castellini Test.
Well.
Okay, but... odder things have happened.
I know. It's going to be...
It's otters, but odder
It's going to be us squinting our eyes, but we will pull it.
Sure.
We will pull it through.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Okay, I can't remember the name of the woman who shows up on the wall screens all the time, but she is a named character. I just can't think of her name at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
She has more than 5 lines of dialogue, but I can't think of her name at the moment. That's true. My fault for not looking at... I didn't recognize the actress, so I didn't write down her name. My bad.
But so did Princess Vespa.
Princess Vespa. So did Dot Matrix.
Right. So they all have 5 lines of dialogue. That is plenty.
Hell, even the waitress in the...
Sure.
Yeah, but she didn't have a name.
In the cantina.
Yeah, the little
Analog,
diner. The diner
which is a
thingy.
diner.
Yeah.
I kind of like that they did that because it's like a truck stop out in the
Yeah,
middle
well, I mean,
of
he's driving to
nowhere.
Winnebago. It should be a truck stop.
Those characters must have a conversation not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
So the only time a relationship is mentioned is the fact that Princess Vespa ran away from her marriage because she didn't want to get married. But it wasn't really like a relationship conversation.
Sure.
It was, I didn't want this responsibility. That's not I didn't want to live my life to somebody else's whim. But everything else, no. They talked about saving her planet, saving her, saving this, that, and the other thing, you know?
Well, actually, Dot Matrix is the one who did the most speaking to everyone.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Because she made commentary.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't about relationships.
No, she just had her Joan Rivers about her.
And Vespa and Dot both talked quite a bit and not about relationships.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a lot about
even,
virginal arms and...
Because even when she runs away and Dot is talking to her in the little ship and she pulls off the headphones, you think it's just the Princess Leia earmuff thingies, but they're literally just headphones. And she's, you know, they're not talking about the relationship. She's talking
about escaping
and running away from a marriage, but not the relationship of the marriage, just the arranged marriage of it.
All right, and here's the final one. At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Well, I think if Vespa was written out of the film, there would be no point
right.
to a lot of what's happening because they try to capture her to get the code, to get the air from the airlock. So, yeah.
So...
Oh my God, it passes Castellini. Who knew Spaceballs was a pseudo-feminist movie?
I think it's feminist in a lot of ways.
Oh, no, it really is, actually.
Not just for...
because she has a voice that's just as strong as his. She has an opinion just as strong as his. There's no...
Even though she's initially trapped within this marriage, she actually does get out of it. Mm-hmm. And even though her father's forcing her or telling her she has to...
Yeah.
She actually does not have to. He wasn't going to put her in chains.
No.
But she was doing it out of a feeling of obligation, but she absolutely had the autonomy to leave if she wanted.
Totally.
She did it already.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And when she came back, and she only agreed to marry Valium the second time around because she was pissed at Lone Star thinking he took the big dollars and ran.
Right.
And that all he was in it for was for the money. And then when she realized that he was not, then she was like, well, I don't know if I can do this now.
Exactly. So, let me ask you now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel now about Mel Brooks?
Oh, well, about Mel Brooks? I've always adored Mel Brooks. He's the grandpa I never had. No.
How do you feel about the movie? We know how we feel about Mel Brooks. He's obviously a sweet and funny person who has earned every bit of the laughs he's ever gotten.
Exactly. I think while dated, it is still a movie that holds up. It does have antiquated moments, but I also don't think it was ever intended to be cutting edge. Like even when it came out in 87, none of the technology was like technology. You know, it wasn't that level of a sci-fi movie. It was not intended to be a sci-fi futuristic kind of movie. It was just making fun of sci-fi futuristic movies. So I don't, like I said, while it's dated in the sense that
she just fell over.
Yeah, she's nuzzling and she's falling asleep. She's a weirdo. So yeah, while the movie I think is definitely, it has its moments, but I think overall it's still, I think even if, you know, a Gen Z sat down and watched it, I think they would appreciate the jokes. I think they would laugh at it. I think they would find it funny. I think they should give it the shot that it deserves. But I feel that way about a lot of the movies that I grew up with. I feel that way about One Crazy Summer and Better Off Dead, you know?
And a lot of times that doesn't cross over.
No.
But you should give it a shot just to see. You should never turn down the chance to enjoy something from a different era.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really never know what you're going to find. Like, I found great meaning in some of the old films that my grandparents had seen. And even though there's a lot of things that are dated, a lot of things that are obviously wrong now, I see them in the light of, well, in this era.
Yeah.
During the era that this was made, these were the things that they saw, the things that were important to them.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a sense of history.
Well, it's like when we watched The Bachelor Mother.
Yeah.
It was not neither of our times.
No.
We were not even thoughts in 1938. And yet we could see things in that movie that were relatable, but yet we could also see things in that movie that were like, holy shit.
But we could be outraged about it. And as well you should, because art should
not evict.
It should give you emotions.
Yes.
It
elicit
emotions. It should elicit feelings. It should make you outraged, or it should make you happy or sad.
Yeah.
Art should move you in some way.
And it's timeless. And it's fluid. That's what I'm looking for. It's fluid.
Right.
What may have been acceptable in the past that is not acceptable now can be appreciated for what it was in the past. And it does not have to make you go, well, maybe I should be a piece of shit Nazi. No, it makes you look at it and go, well, that's a piece of shit fucking move. I get what they're saying. Yeah. I get what they were saying because they weren't living the same life we're living now, and they didn't know what we know now. And while, yes, this is offensive, I get it. I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Right.
And that's the key, is you don't have to like it. It's like music. I don't like all music. I love music, but I don't like all kinds of music. I appreciate the different types of music there are out there because music is the story of our life. And I've said this so many times, whether you are listening to classical Mozart or you are listening to Smack My Bitch Up, it is telling you the story of what is happening in society at that moment.
Yeah.
You know,
in some way, yes.
In some way. WAP, that song, well, yeah, wet ass pussy, but it is telling you about what women, the freedom, the sexual freedom that we now have. Well, we had for a hot fucking minute. So, I mean, it's telling you that story of femininity right then and there. It's power. You listen to, I don't know, throw a song at me, but it's like,
Enter Sandman?
Enter Sandman. That's in its own little darkness right there. But it's still written. When it was written as a story, a photograph of the time it was in. My music from the 90s.
Why is that the song I went to?
I don't know. So like I listen, if I listen to the stuff from the 90s, that's what I love because that's what I listen to the most, and that's my go-to. But it's telling me a story. It's a picture, a photograph, a painting of my youth because those are the songs written by the people of my generation. And then I go in, if I listen to something written now, while I may appreciate it and I may like it, I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Because it's not meant for me. It's meant for the people of that age. So yes, it's just, I'm sorry, I can go off. I can go off on a whole,
You just did.
Yeah, and I can make it worse. Oh, come on, cats.
He's trying to get in there.
No, you can't go into the baby's basket.
Okay.
So on that note, if you want to watch this movie, you can find it on HBO Max, YouTube, Hulu, Sling TV, Amazon Prime, Fandango, Apple TV, and Google Play. Some of them as a subscription and some of them rented from $2.99 to $5.99.
Okay. Well, this has been Once More with Feelings with Beth and Michelle. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at OMWFPod. Visit our page at oncemorewithfeelings.podbean.com. Or send us an email at omwfpod@gmail.com. Take a moment to subscribe and rate us on iTunes or YouTube or wherever you listen to our podcasts.
So next time we meet, here's some of your clues. The person that this movie is about, because we're going to do a based on a true story film. So the person that this movie is about said that they believe that it was about 99% accurate to the true story. And this same person also received $100,000 to sell their story, while the main actor in this movie got $20 million.
Okay.
So, fucked up that be? It's what it is.
I'm not sure I know what the next movie is. I do this every time, though, because we talk about a lot of movies.
Yes.
During the week, we'll go through like the list, and I even had a friend of mine request a movie.
Yes.
And we're going to do it for her.
After this next one.
Right, because we love her. And it is an excellent movie, and one we alluded to in different parts about a character in this movie.
Yes, but not next week.
Right, not next week.
Next week is our based on a true story movie.
Right.
Because we wanted to do something a little different. If you have any movies that you would like to request, please drop us an email. We would love to get some ideas, because we have a whole list, but we're going by what we like.
I'm going to guess that the next movie, based on what you said, is Alien.
Yes, because that is such a realistic, real movie. I mean, John Hurt getting yeah. I think I said words there. Okay, guys.
Mango only pawn in Game of Life.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Careful, you idiot! I said across her nose, not up it!
Sorry, sir. Doing my best.
Who made that man a gunner?
I did, sir. He's my cousin.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
He's an asshole, too, sir. Gunner's mate, first class, Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.